Most facilities managers don't spend as much time thinking about managing plug load in their building as they do about the other two major components of electrical load, HVAC and lighting. That's typically because they think of it as being a relatively small part of their total power consumption, when in fact in a typical commercial office building, 20 to 30% of your total power consumption is from plug load. And in buildings with a high density of electronic equipment, particularly servers and data centers, but also all the PCs, printers, copiers, all the other stuff that we have throughout the building, in those buildings with a high density of electronics, 40, 50, 60, even 70% of your total power consumption. It's growing at a time that many of us are doing a pretty good job of managing HVAC and lighting power consumption down. So it's something facilities managers really need to be paying attention to. So what to do? Well, the first thing is you need baselining, benchmarking of your building. You need to know what the total power consumption is, what portion of that the plug load is, and what the constituent parts of the plug load are so that they can be managed. Second thing, you need to go through the building looking for all that equipment that's plugged in, turned on, and doing nothing. And there's a surprising amount of that throughout the building. It needs to go out. Third thing, managing power down. There's really good technology available today to be able to turn down or turn off equipment that's not in use without interrupting workflow. Fourth thing, work with IT and purchasing to design and buy more energy efficient electronic equipment. What do you get out of all this? Well, first thing you get is you use less power, which of course means you have a smaller power bill and a smaller carbon footprint. The other thing you get out of it's future proofing. Most commercial buildings in the future are going to be covered by time of use and demand response programs where they're going to need to be able to turn down power consumption when they're asked to. And to the extent that your plug load is large and growing and part of your base load, it's going to make it harder and harder to respond to that demand response request. So go have a look. There's a lot you can do. There's a lot of opportunity, a lot of money to be saved in managing the electrical plug load in your building.